Hey, it's Michelle, your big sis with Brilliant Quest. And today I want to ask you, are you at the crossroads? Well, let me tell you a quick story. The crossroads, you've probably heard of it before in many different tellings. We've got The Devil Came Down to Georgia. We've got a Memphis tale of a famous guitar player who made a deal with the devil. We've even got the Faustian tale of Faust and the devil. And a lot of times these are portrayed as happening at the crossroads. And it's usually a deal to give you or imbue you with great power that you couldn't get on your own. Now, I'm going to tell you a little story about that, and then I'm going to, be a little, transparent here, because I'm going to just tell you, I just got through the crossroads, and I lived to tell about it without having to make the deal. So anyway, stick around. Let's get on to it. Okay, so today I'm going to be using cards that I'm going to be using tarot cards to just illustrate a few of the archetypes and dynamics to help me with this story of the crossroads, and to help you to understand how you can use this information for your benefit. Okay? All right. So I want to talk about a African deity, Orisha, if you will, called Eshu. Eshu, and sometimes he is called Papa Legba. Eshu is the trickster god. If you were to put him into a Western context, people would call him the devil. Now, I need to preface this by saying, Eshu is not evil. He does have an underworld dwelling, but it's not evil. It's not that kind of hell, okay? But Eshu is the Lord, or the power of the crossroads. And it can be the best of times and the worst of times, depending on how you handle it, how you prepare for it, or not even prepare for it, because I don't think you can really do that, but how you negotiate and navigate through it. All right, so here we go. So first I want to tell you, Eshu, E-S-H-U, so you can look it up. Eshu is this trickster energy that comes into our life. Like I said, he lives in the crossroads. And a lot of people don't understand that they are a lot of times coming in and out of a crossroads situation. And if you, oh my gosh, if you can recognize when you're in the crossroads, don't fall for the trick, make it through, you will get a treat. I'm sitting here right now. The fact that I'm able to make this video and share it with you is part of the treat of making it through the crossroads. Okay, so let me show my little cards and all of that. And I just want to say this real quick. If you're like, because I said tarot cards, calm down. Tarot cards, if you've played any kind of card game with the traditional card deck, you have played with tarot. Tarot is simply a way of showing you archetypes to help you get through your life, okay? There's no quote-unquote evil around it. So, miss me with that, okay? So anyway, and I actually learned tarot when I was in grad school, because Carl Jung, the famous mentee of Freud, talked about tarot, and there's even a tarot based on the psychological aspects of it. But let me get back on this point of this so we can do this. All right, so Papa Legba, Eshu, crossroads. See, I'm remembering. I'm sticking with it. This is really good, because last year I wouldn't be able to do this. He is known as the trickster god, as I said before, but he also has 3 different types of forms that he can come to you. And I was going to say, you can't hang out at the crossroads. It's just not possible because of all the forces that it takes to exist in Papa Legba's situation. So much so that I think one of the best illustrations of what it's like trying to hang out in the crossroads is the devil card from tarot. Now, I'm going to show this, and hopefully it'll focus really good so that you can see it. And right here, the tarot card of the devil, it shows the devil, and then it shows 2 people with chains around their necks. But you'll also see nobody's holding those chains. It's the people keeping themselves there. Let me see if I can get them. Well, they don't have no clothes on, but you see what I'm saying. It's a platform of falseness. It's where you're keeping yourself down. It's the temptations. It's the overindulgence that we do on ourselves. And so that's why I say you cannot stay in the crossroads. Papa Legba is there for a purpose to help you. And that brings me to why it's so powerful going through the crossroads. Now, like I said before, there are 3 different ways that he can appear. And a lot of us, we can take on these appearances, if you will, depending on what we're going through. So the first one is he can be the old man. The old man. So again, in my little tarot deck, I am bringing up the emperor. And the old man as the emperor, He is the one that is going to help you build authority. He's going to give you the ability to not only recognize that the wisdom is from within, but the power to bring it out so that you can affect action in your life and possibly in the lives of others, depending on what situation brought you to the crossroads. The next one, and this is the one that we're most familiar with when we think about this trickster energy, is the Fool. Yeah. Now, even within the Fool, there are different aspects to it. One of the things that you might be more familiar with is going to regular playing cards. The Fool is in there. Papa Legba, yes, Eshu is in regular playing cards. And that is the Joker or the Jester. Now, if you're thinking about the Joker, for my peeps, who play spades, I'm talking about the high Joker, okay? He's the baddest one in the bunch because the Joker can supersede any card within there. The same thing if you're thinking about tarot. The Fool, because that's what it's named in tarot, the Fool is able to exist alongside any other card. And the reason why is because it's the journey. So the reason why we have the Fool as part of how Papa Legba comes to us is because it's part of our life's journey. Meaning that when you're in the crossroads, you have free will to review any situation you've been through so that you can help yourself get past the crossroads, because the Joker is coming to bring you tricks. Now, one thing about trickster energies, they are not diabolical, they're not evil, they're not there to bring you down. They're there to show you different points of view on how to keep progressing. Now, let me say something about this. When you're thinking about the crossroads, what do you think about? It's the center, right? Yeah. So the crossroads is the center. If you were to illustrate the center, if you just took a piece of paper and I said, draw the crossroads, many of you might draw a cross if you're thinking about a four-way stop. But to really understand it, you would just draw a period, a dot. The crossroads is the period. It's the dot. It's the full stop. It's the end. Yeah. In the middle of the crossroads is where you come to a temporary full stop. And then you get an opportunity with Papa Legba, based on, I forgot to show you the card, based on this card of the Fool. Yeah. Where you can see everything. You can turn in a full 360 degree to be able to see stuff. You know why? Because he's also the old man that gives you the ability to have authority over your life, to see what's within. And he's also the child. He is the child that is able to illuminate, or this one is called the sun. He's able to illuminate stuff. If you start noticing that you've been treading water, you've not been moving forward, but you've been getting more and more insights, more iterations, more ways to see your situation, 9 times out of 10, you're in a crossroads. All right, so you say, okay, Michelle, I've listened and blah, 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 get to the point. Okay, the point is this. The crossroads came to pass, not to stay. It is a period. Isn't it powerful that you can end a sentence with a period? And, people are like, period. But what they don't realize is the full stop is not for you just to make a declarative statement and leave it there. The full stop, the period, the crossroads, is so that you can understand that part is done. That part is moved on. That part is dead. What you gonna do now? Where you gonna move now? And too many people are stuck on the period. They're stuck in the crossroads. And when you get stuck in the crossroads and you can't move forward, guess what comes next? Yeah, the trick and the deal. A lot of people don't understand that the reason why we have these Faustian tales where we quote unquote make a deal with the devil is because we don't realize that the old man has already told us we have the authority to move forward. Everything you need is within you. And we're feeling like this inferior part of the Joker. Like, I'm a fool. I don't know how to move forward. I don't know what to do. But if we realize that we have the bright futures ahead of us of a child where the sun illuminates every possibility, we can move past. And Eshu is here to help you do that. Unless you fall for the trick and you become shackled by the devil. Because remember, if you were to take Eshu and you were to put him into a Western understanding of deities, he would be the devil. Yeah. And so you see these stories of them making deals with the devil. And there's always a high price to pay when you're making a deal with the devil. Because you're usurping, you're allowing external forces to usurp your power where you say, I can't do it by myself. help me externally, help me to do these things. And you always have to pay a price. It's like trying to outsource exercise. You can't do it. Trying to outsource weight loss. You can't do it. But yet and still, we try with pills, potions, lotions, and Ozempic. And there's always a price to pay. You know? One of the things that I have had to realize is that everything is cyclical. There's nothing new under the sun. And when we come through these trials, if we don't pass them, if we make deals, then it only gets harder and harder each time. Now, let me tell you how you know you've made a deal with the devil, if you will. If you do things to try to continue past the period of doing what was behind in front of the period, meaning you refuse to change. You are trying to make that rule work when it doesn't work anymore. You're trying to stay stuck in what you know instead of going through to the unknown, because that's another thing. When you're at the crossroads and a shoe, Papa Legba, is there with you and he's tricking you and he's possibly offering you deals, it is because you have not embraced the fact that he's assuring you that you have the authority. Everything you need is within you. And that you have the power to see what you need to go on the journey and know it's going to be okay, because you have the faith in the beginner's mind of a child that's going to illuminate your path. But too many times we can't, because we can't see what's ahead or what's behind the doors or what's on the new path that we need to go through. We regress and we try to make a deal with the devil so that we can either pass the test and get a little, bit extra, or we can succeed at doing what we're not supposed to even be doing anymore. We're supposed to be going to a new level, And so let me tell you, mine. Now that I'm quote unquote feeling better, I wanted to return to the things that I know. And that is being able to write my books, being able to, put together online trainings and all of that. And I was stuck at a crossroads because what I know or knew was not working. No matter how much I tried, I kept trying to come at it at a different angle. And I kept getting stuck on the period. I couldn't move past that period. And I started having to think, well, I'm putting all this energy in now that I feel better, but the world has changed. What has happened? Why do I feel stuck? And that's another way you know that you're probably at a crossroads. When you're doing all you know to do, but you still feel stuck. You can't move forward. You can't get any traction. What you're doing does not amount to the efforting of getting you where you need to be. And so because of that, I had to realize, I'm in a crossroads. Yeah. And so what that meant was, instead, because I know what a shoe does. And by the way, in case you didn't realize it, a shoe comes to us in different ways. We know him in Western culture as Briar Rabbit, the trickster, or Bugs Bunny. And we don't want to be Daffy Duck. We don't want to always be having the trick played on us. We want to get the lesson and move out, because you're not supposed to stay in the crossroads too long with the trickster, because if you do, you know what's happening. That good old devil. So I was having, I kept bumping my head. I was on the little yellow bus in the back because I just was like, why isn't this working? Why isn't this working? And I finally had to realize, oh my gosh, it's my confidence in what used to work keeping me from having a beginner's mind of the child and being able to be willing to go on new journeys. When that started happening, the reason why I am on here right now talking with you with my hair somewhat combed, because y'all, was because of understanding that. And I mean, I imagine, because I'm a creative person, I just imagine Papa Legba, a shoe, just laughing and saying, you finally got it. You finally got it. That you can move forward. And I didn't fall for the trick. I didn't take the deal. I moved forward. And life right now looks totally different. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just doing it day by day. But every day, in every way, I'm getting better and better. It's amazing how once you make it through to another direction, to another point in your path, the next sentence after the period, it starts to unfold step by step. But you have to take the steps. And another thing I'm starting to realize is once you are newly out of the crossroads, you really have to shorten the time between the idea or the notion of something and the action. Because the longer you take from the, oh, okay, I'm going to take this step and taking it, it gets harder and harder to the point where you almost feel a magnetic pull back to that crossroads. And you don't want to do that. That's why a lot of people get tricked. A lot of people make these deals. And when I talk about deals, I'm not talking about a deal to sell your soul. But in essence, you are, because the fear of moving into the unknown, moving outside of the crossroads, gets harder and harder. And the boogeyman in the dark outside of this crossroads, because the only thing you know is the stuff prior to the terminal point. So you keep wanting to either go back, never progressing, and you're always going to come right back to that point, that period, that dot. And when you get to that dot, it's going to get bigger and harder and deeper to transverse over it, to hopscotch over it. It's going to become a gap, a cavern, a crevasse, whatever you want to call it. And we have to make it pass. That's why I'm so impassioned to tell you this. So I want to ask you, are you at a crossroads? If you are, oh my gosh, get the lesson and move on. Understand that issue is not there to harm you. Because I'll tell you another thing. If you're looking at this cosmologically, issue is also Saturn. Isn't it funny that Saturn is the Saturday? Saturday is the day that we traditionally get to do the things that we need to do for ourselves. You know, we spend the 5 days working as of right now, traditionally. And then everybody's like living for Saturday. But when you wake up Saturday, what are you doing? You're getting your work done for yourself. Because if you don't, usually you're spending Sunday trying to get prepared for the next week. And if you don't do the stuff that you need for yourself on Saturday, your next week is going to be hard. And so also with Saturn, it has been said that when Saturn visits you, Saturn is there to give you a test. And that test is to see how prepared you are for when the rocky times come. Now, the good thing about Saturn and issue is once you get past the crossroads, or once Saturn has put you through your paces, they always leave a gift. And that gift is the newness of the new direction. Remember, the Joker is the most powerful card in traditional playing decks, and so in our life journey. And when you get started on the new journey, it's not where you're going to be professional. That's why the Joker is young. You're young in this, no matter how old you are. And Papa Ashu is like, Papa Leva Ashu is like, come with a beginner's mind. Be willing to see stuff as a newness. And the illumination, you see the sun? The illumination of seeing things with a beginner's mind will help you. And I will tell you, the gift that they leave, oh my goodness, the gift that you get making it successfully through the crossroads is you become the magician. You become the magus. You become the person who is able to manifest and bring into fruition the things that you're trying to get done. So all of that stuff on the new journey, from where you get past to that period far off, hopefully in the distance, until you get to issue again in the crossroads, is now where you're manifesting new stuff. You're going from strength to strength, level to level, glory to glory. And so I really kind of wanted to just explain that, because too many times we get stuck in the confidence of what we've done in the past, thinking that that's always going to work for us. And I wanted to be transparent and let you know, yeah, I'm freshly out of it. And baby, I feel it. Oh, yes, I do. So let me recap real quick and let you go. Thank you so much for listening so far. When you are at the crossroads, it is a terminal point. It is a stop, a full stop. You'll know you're in the you'll know that you're in the crossroads, because the stuff that you used to do or you currently do is losing its efficacy. It's getting harder and harder. It's not working. It's not. And it just came to me that some people that are watching this, you're thinking about this in a form of a relationship. Well, let me tell you, a terminal point for something like a relationship does not necessarily mean you need to end it. It means you need to go a different direction with it. You need to become new again as a newborn babe, as a new journey person, to rediscover what it was about that relationship that got you into it. So this is not Big Sis Michelle saying, well, we at the crossroads and I got to leave you. No, not necessarily. And if you're thinking about this from a business standpoint, yeah, I'm talking to you too. If your business is at the crossroads, I want you to understand that you're not going to get all of the answers. No matter how many new courses you buy, consultants you bring on, you're going to have to step out into the dark by faith so that you can go just step by step. It's almost as if the new step is only manifested once you lift your leg in forward motion to land on it. You don't see it until you land on it. So thank you so much for listening to this, and leave me a comment. I want to know, what's your crossroad experience? And thank you guys so much. Just being able to be here and to talk with you is a testament that you can make it out of the crossroads without getting tricked and without making a deal. All right, so this is Michelle with Brilliant Quest. Please like, subscribe. I'll see you on the next one.